You're very welcome along.
Thank you very much, Keith. Thank you.
How's things getting on with yourself?
Great, yeah, absolutely flying, absolutely flying.
Good
I just
stuff.
have to say, by the way, that wasn't me singing. That was a song I wrote. That was actually a guy by the name of Eamon Toll who was singing that song. But I actually wrote the song Crash Bang Boom because he'll kill me. He'll kill me if he thinks I was letting on to be him. You know.
All right, I say. Well, a very nice song indeed.
Thank you.
So tell us, you came all the way down from Drogheda today.
Came from Drogheda today, yeah. And we got lost on the way a little bit, but found the place on the second drive by, yeah.
Oh, good.
Here in plenty of time, anyway, that's the main thing.
You did indeed. So how's things up in Drogheda? What's it like up there, actually?
Drogheda's a good town, absolutely great town. It's been well publicised there of late on RTE with the Local Heroes programme. I don't know whether you've seen it or not. It's a fine big town. It's like every other town, I suppose, in the country as well. It's suffering at the moment because of the current recession, but good people, great live venues to be seen, great pubs, restaurants. Very vibrant town indeed, absolutely.
Yeah.
And is very proud of Drogheda, I have to say.
Indeed, yeah. And what's it like for shopping in terms of like being near the north? Does that be a tricky issue?
It is actually, yeah. Not so much maybe as what Dundalk and things like that would get, but yeah, we do find that a lot of people would maybe travel up at the weekends to do the shopping. But then again, I think we're catching up on the north now price wise, and I don't think there's very little difference now. In fairness, and we have everything in Drogheda. Drogheda has every major shop you could want. You know, we've two big shopping centres and. There's two big centres just outside of town, so there's everything there, yeah.
I think everything's gone down in price a little bit up there, hasn't it?
In the north, you say?
Yeah, well, in County Louth itself, like in some of the towns like Drogheda and Dundalk,
yeah,
because of stuff like that.
Well, people have jumped on this local heroes thing, and there is deals to be got. Yeah, absolutely. I think the Heart over Christmas, the Heart came back into the centre of Drogheda, which was great because there's been for many a year there was shops closing and. It just died off a little bit, but coming up to Christmas, the Heart and Soul arrived back in the heart of Drogheda, which was great to see.
Great. So how did you actually get involved in music then?
Well, I suppose I'm writing since I can remember, Keith, to be honest with you. Played in bands, same as everyone else. Got the writing bug, I suppose, really in the past 10 years and decided that this is for me now. This is what I want to do, is write songs. I write in every style of music, be it pop, country, as you heard, swing, big band, just about everything. I just love writing songs. There's always songs in the head, and when there's always songs in the head, they have to be recorded. It's as simple as that with me, you know, be it any kind of style at all.
Very good. Did you study or just pick music up yourself then when you were younger?
No, well, when I was young, my mother and father sent me to Crowley's in Drogheda, which is a music school in Fair Street, and I learned to play the guitar. But like everything else, when I got to a certain age, I was kind of more interested in girls, so I kind of gave it up. But in my late teens, I got back into it again, and like I said, I was playing in bands, this, that, and the other. But I was always able to write original tunes. Even then, I was always coming up. Even though we were playing in cover bands, I was always coming up with original songs. Be they called silly names like Santa Fe and things like that, which would have been from the Hotcast days. But I always had a love of original music, and like I says, it was just a thing. No one taught me how to write a song. It was just there. It's just a gift. It was always just there.
In terms of the bands then, like, what did you get to do with them? Did you get to sing or play instruments or what?
Yeah, well, when I started out, first of all, obviously because I went to guitar lessons, I was playing guitar, but I could sing it, I could hold a tune as well, so I got roped into being lead singer then, obviously, and kind of backed off on the guitar then for many years. I just sang. Yeah, that was it. It started in guitar and then singing.
And do you just play guitar or do you play piano as well? Or?
I can play the piano, but I can play. I kind of taught myself to play piano, but I can only play chords. I can. When you're writing on the guitar all the time, Keith, it gets very. It's only one instrument. But whereas the piano is such a versatile instrument, you can write so much on a piano. So I kind of taught myself the basics on the piano, which I found comes in very handy now for songwriting. It's opened up a whole new playing field as it was to me, having the piano on board. But like I wasn't taught how to do it, it was just self-taught,
You've a whole new avenue with the piano now.
Absolutely, there's a load more songs now that can be, and I don't have to be hounding my good friend here, David Leddy, as much now, Phew, he says here in the corner.
So tell us, since you have Dave in the studio with you today, tell us, how did you actually meet up with him?
Well, we met up together as friends when I worked in his father's shop, the Sound Shop in Drogheda, which you said when we were talking earlier, you knew big music store there in the northeast, fantastic place. And I actually used to walk there. Well, I use walk very loosely, in case Tommy's listening. But that's where I met David, and we became very good friends. And we've although David doesn't work there anymore, I don't work there anymore, we've remained very good friends, and that's our story. I don't think Hollywood will be ringing looking for us for the rights of it, but it's a nice enough story.
And Dave also plays a bit of music as well.
He does, yeah. David is a fantastic player. He's one of the best session piano players in the country, without a shadow of a doubt. And he does an awful lot of work at home as well. He's playing in different bands. He does musical arrangements for pantos, and he's just music full time, basically. He's no Mike, so he can't say anything. This is great.
So do you find, is there any particular time of the day that you like to write songs? Or
I'll tell you now, Keith, and again, I'm going to say this to most songwriters. Most songwriters will tell you there's always time to write a song. I actually, my wife, Shirley, bought me a digital dictaphone, because I would literally have a melody would come into your head, and sometimes these melodies come in and they're gone in a second. So you whip it out and you hum the melody into the dictaphone. That's basically it. That's how it works. And most songwriters will tell you that as well. There's always bits and pieces floating around inside my head for songs. For instance, on another song you're going to play in a while, that was actually a middle 8 of another song I was writing, but it turned out to be a song itself then after that. So that's just the way it works. There's no set of rules in songwriting. It just, when it happens, you know. And thankfully it's happening in my head quite a lot.
Good. Do you have any particular methods on how you go about writing songs, in terms of, do you like to write lyrics first or music first, or how does it come about for you?
Right. Well, I could tell you this now, and you probably wouldn't believe me, but it's the truth, and David will vouch for this. I actually write songs very quickly. Everything comes together very quickly. It's just the way I work, and I'm not going to lie to you when I say I could write a song in about a half an hour or more, or just a little more, maybe 45 minutes, an hour tops. And everything comes together. The music, first of all, obviously you'll sit at the piano or the guitar and you'll strum a few chords, or you'll play a little melody on the piano. But the last thing with me is always the lyrics. The first thing to me is the music. That's the way I work. But it happens very, very quickly, you know.
Yeah, I get what you mean, yeah. And obviously there's other people then that would write the lyrics first, and then they might be stuck with the music. So do you have a chance to help people with that sort of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, this is what I do. You see, I've a good lot of songs written, a couple of 100 songs written. I'm always up there to help other people along. If people, for instance, lyricists can write lyrics and they're looking for music, well, come and see me. You know, that's all the way. Like I say, I write in every style, from pop, country, rock, you name it. So if you've got lyrics or if you've got music and you're looking for lyrics, well, then I'm your man.
Very good indeed. And we've given you a bit of an example there of just performing a song there, like it's really good stuff from that. So that's interesting indeed. Now, are you hoping to maybe do your own side project, like as in terms of releasing your own material and having like a couple of singles or an album and things like that? Yeah, well,
funny you should mention that, because that is something now I'm actually thinking strongly of. I have been going down the route of writing for other people and that sort of thing, but I think it's time now maybe to do an album myself. So maybe later on this year I'll go about that, maybe 10-track album, and with the hope, of course, of releasing a couple of singles off it. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that would interest me. Yes, absolutely. Good. And do you have a particular plan about how you go about it? Do you obviously want to maybe do some promotional gigs and stuff with that as well? Yeah, well, obviously that's going to happen. Like, if you have an album to plug, you have to be gigging. Yeah. The lovely thing about the fact that of writing this album is I've got so many songs as well I can pick from. So you do the album, you do the live thing. They just follow each other more or less. So that would be the plan. Yes. Very good indeed. Just going back to some of the, can you mention some of the bands that you played in years ago? Some of the band names No, well, these bands would be only cover bands, like, yeah. But like, I mean, there was a Hotcast, there was a Foreplay, there was Top Guns, Soul Train, just cover bands. But I will say with Soul Train, I was playing with lads like Graham Sarsfield and Jeff Fay, and we did actually throw a couple of original songs into the set as well, because Graham, another friend of mine from Drogheda, he's actually a good songwriter too, and Jeff Fay would be able to manage writing songs as well. So there was a couple of originals thrown in with Soul Train, but like, we were never original band. It was more a covers band sort of thing, you know.
And did you perform like all over the country and stuff, or was it just up in County Louth?
It was just no. It was nothing. It was nothing major. You know what I mean? Nothing. No. It was nothing major. I would have liked to been torn all over the place, but no. I think that only comes with original stuff. Well, obviously, no, there are great cover bands going around the country. Don't get me wrong, but I think the touring end of things really comes into its own when you're doing original stuff, because you have to put the work in and you have to go to the places, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, indeed. Do you have you played with any other artists as such in gigs, or are you just working with different artists on songs and stuff at the moment?
No, I'm just working with my own songs with other artists. People like Gary Grace in England is very interested in Crash Bang Boom. He sent me over an initial recording of it, which sounds very, very good. And I'm working with a few other people, which I'm not going to mention at the moment because it's only at the very early stages. But I've got a lot of interest in my songs. I'll put it that way. But it's only interest at this moment in time. It'll take me a hard copy of the song and say, there you go, we're number one in the States, fair play, here's a big lob of money. We'll say no more.
I suppose you probably have a lot of projects that you need to keep quiet at the moment
as well,
the roof,
yeah,
isn't that?
Absolutely too. Yeah, working. Facebook is a great medium as well for that, because I've met a lot of people through Facebook, and like I said, these people would contact you privately, and but I can say Gary Grace, this chap, you can check him out. He has sent me an original recording of Crash Bang Boom, and it's sounding very good indeed. Tell
us some of the music that you actually like to listen to.
Yeah, well, because of my age, I don't want to give my age, but I wouldn't be, I'd be the wrong side of 40. I would be into the classics more so than anything else. Obviously the Beatles, Gilbert O'Sullivan. I love Gilbert O'Sullivan's music. I love his melodies and his songs, and I like the way he writes as well. His lyrics are very clever. Other people, to be too much really to mention. Just everything. Because I write in different styles, I'm into a little bit of everything. You know, that's all I like. But I like Andrew Gold as well, who sadly is no longer with us. Was a great songwriter as well. Lonely Boy, remember Lonely Boy?
Yeah.
All that type of stuff.
Never let her slip away.
Yeah, never let her slip away. All that kind of music. But like I said, I listen to there's a lot of good young bands around as well at the moment. There's actually a track I'm playing quite a lot on Facebook from a band called The Aftermath. Have you heard of The Aftermath?
Might have, yeah.
In Loneliness There's Love is the name of the track, and it's absolutely brilliant. I'm hoping the guys have an album coming out soon, because it really is. It's my favourite thing for listening to at the moment, apart from my own tunes, obviously. Yeah.
There's a venue in Drogheda, that you wanted to actually mention, is there?
There is a venue in Drogheda, yeah, a great venue called the TLT, which is a huge big venue. It's a 900-seater venue, I think, David, isn't it? It's a fabulous place, a state-of-the-art venue that we have in Drogheda. We're very lucky to have it, in fairness. We really are very lucky to have something like that on our doorstep. And it's you really should get down to see it sometime, Keith, yeah?
Yeah, that'd be great. And
great
has that been going for a long time now?
How long has it been going now, Dave?
It's into its third year.
It's into its third year now.
Okay,
TLT,
so has that only been built in the last 3 years?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah, it was built actually in the middle of what we're currently going through, but it's holding its own. It's a fabulous venue, and there's been some great acts, international and national acts have played in it since it's opened. It's currently hosting Beauty and the Beast, the annual pantomime, which is selling out as we speak.
Great. Is there any famous people in that panto, is there?
No.
Not like the Dublin
pantos. One of them sitting over here beside me, David Leddy. But you can't get any more famous than Dodds Leddy.
Absolutely, indeed. We've had an artist in here a couple of times. I don't know if you know her. Geraldine Mangan is her name. Do you know her?
No,
you don't know her.
No.
She does a lot of different types of. I think she's doing a show called the 20th Century Collection, and she writes her own songs and she has her own album. But she likes to collaborate with other artists as well, and she has another writer with her, Caroline Jane Webb. So they're kind of interested in the whole helping other artists get songs and stuff. So I know they couldn't make the Songwriting Club the last time.
I was just going to ask would you
but they were at the first meeting, which was interesting, but they couldn't make the last one. So hopefully we get all you guys together and you'll be all chatting about songwriting stuff, and it'll be really interesting indeed. But tell us what hobbies do you like to do apart from music?
I'm a big film fan as well, and as well as that, when I was young, I had dreams of being a comic artist. I don't know if you've seen on Facebook, I posted up some of my work as well. I had dreams of, when I was young, of maybe working for Marvel. Have you heard of Marvel?
No,
Marvel is a comic company in America. It was only dreams, but I was mad into comic art, so I'd say that would be a hobby now: comic art and movies and music, basically. Yeah. I got a little lad at home, a little 3-year-old lad at home as well, and he keeps me fairly busy. So the hobbies is kind of taking a back seat to his needs at the moment.
Yeah, family is hobbies, isn't it?
Absolutely. I say a big hello to Connor. He'll be listening as well. My little son Connor and Shirley, my wife, as well. So.
Okay, very good indeed. Yeah. In terms of people that are wanting to perform songs and different things, there's a whole issue I know about copyright and stuff where you have to send songs to yourself, but then there's the issue with IMRO as well. We were just discussing that before we came on there. Like if you're writing a song for someone else, like obviously you have to put down who wrote the song and who performed it. So how does that process work, just for people that don't know?
Well, that's basically all I do. Is you can, if you're a member of IMBRO, which you should be, if you're writing original songs, the most important thing of all is we live in a digital age, and music is very cheap now. It can be, if you put anything on the web, going is where it can go. So if you're writing an original song, you need to look after it. So the first thing to do is to sign up with IMBRO. Obviously, you post the tunes to yourself through registered mail. That's always been the way. Or if for a song that's really, you think you're going to really go places with it, you could also get in touch with maybe a solicitor and get them to look after things like that. I don't know, but there's lots of money involved in that sort of thing. Basically, you self-post to yourself, and you log on to IMBRO. Once you're a member with IMBRO, obviously, then you can register the song to yourself, whether you're a writer, co-writer, or already just playing music, or you're just performing on the song. But it's important that all young songwriters out there protect their work, especially in this digital age where they can easily get lost.
And a lot of young people, like they record videos and just put them up on YouTube without even thinking about it, do they as well?
Well, they do, because then you see what's wrong there as well, because of programs like X Factor and all these type of programs. People are looking for instant stardom, and a lot of kids think now that it's just a case of putting a webcam in front of them and that's it, they're going to be huge. And unfortunately, as you correctly says, they don't really think. So if you've got an original song, which means you wrote it, you have to protect it and make sure you do all the necessary work to protect it before. Like all my songs before they go on Facebook or anything else are all copyrighted. You need to do it. You need to look after it, because it's a work of art. People forget. People think now, because of instant stardom that you get from programs like this, songwriting is a gift. It's an art, and it needs to be protected. So the most important thing for young people is to protect their music. Full stop.
Have you actually watched The Voice of Ireland or anything?
I have, and I'm going to say now, I wouldn't be a big fan now of the other program, but I like the fact that they're judging people on the vocal, and the vocal alone. They're sitting at the back, which is good, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to mention any names. There are certain artists selling multi-million selling artists who mightn't have made it through the early stages of the X Factor. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So I'm liking this thing where they're just listening to The Voice. I really think it's a step up. But I was listening to one of your comments the other day where you think it's wrong with established artists that might have an album. Was that going to be your next question?
Yeah, that could be my next question, yeah.
Yeah, that you can look upon that two ways as well, because I mean, for them to go on that programme as well, it's like a second chance for them. And I can understand where they're coming from as well. If you're after putting so many years, you see, music is luck as well, Keith. You know, it's about being in the right place at the right time. You could be the best songwriter in the world, the best singer in the world, but unless it all comes together, and timing included, you might never get anywhere. I don't mind the fact that there's people that have recorded albums up against other people, because these young kids can sing now. They've grew up in an age where music is so accessible to them. They got computer things now they can use that they can enhance their vocal and everything, and train them to be good singers. So to me, it's an open playing field, because the older people would have spent years looking at working up their voice through years of singing in clubs and different bands and things like that. Whereas most kids today they've got more help in nurturing their voices, you know. So it's kind of levels itself out a little bit. And kids today, don't forget, are a lot more confident as well. It's completely different from when we were young. They're a lot more confident these days, and that shows in their performance, you know.
I think as well, there's a lot more avenues for people to get their music out there, so that probably gives people confidence then as well.
As well, true, yeah. But again, going back to the dangers where we spoke earlier about making sure, if you are writing original songs, because of those avenues, make sure they're protected. Make sure your work is your work.
Indeed. So what do you think of there's obviously a couple of artists out there, they just do covers and stuff, and they put their stuff up on YouTube and stuff, and they get hundreds or thousands of hits. What do you think of that, actually?
What, they're singing other people's songs?
Yeah, singing other people's songs and then putting it up on YouTube, and they're getting hundreds.
Well, I mean, you can't stop that, can you?
No.
At the end of the day, it's like downloading stuff as well. I mean, it just seems to be natural now for kids to do that. They just don't see anything wrong with it. So I don't know how you would if the artist was getting a little bit of money for all those a couple of 100,000 hits or whatever, you wouldn't complain. But I don't know how you would. I don't know what way the music industry is going to tackle this at all, because once it goes on the internet, that's it. It's finished. It's worldwide, you know.
Well, there's no rules or policies that were brought out years ago, so I think things are just out of control now.
They really, I agree with you 100%. Absolutely.
There's no way you can really bring in rules to say you can't do this, that, and the other.
Yeah, like I said, like kids these days are like. I mean, years ago, if we wanted to hear new music, you went into a record store and you bought the album or you bought the CD.
Yeah.
There was no such thing as logging onto a computer and downloading the whole thing
in
20 seconds.
You might hear one track on the radio and go, I like that, I'll buy that.
I'm going to buy it. It was a whole different time. It really was a different time. And it was a good time. I remember even magazines like Record Mirror and things like that. You'd look forward to getting them every week to check up on what was happening, because there was no internet. You didn't know. So you had to read these magazines to find out about your bands. And I think it was, like, I mean, I might sound old-fashioned, but I think it was actually a better time, because I think music was much more appreciated. Now it's more of a commodity, you know.
Yeah, I get you. And then obviously we go around with music in our headphones all the time.
Exactly, yeah. Not like the big things, the Walkmans. Remember, you're too young to remember the Walkmans. It's just a different time. But like the thing about being a songwriter, you have to evolve as well, and you're always playing catch up with the technology, you know.
Yeah.
The one good thing I will say, just while we're at it, is that technology makes it a lot easier to write songs as well, which is good.
And you also mentioned that you have a little studio that you work with, a little mixing desk.
It's like I said, it's for me to put down my ideas, and if anything is working really well, you can go into a studio with that, and then you can lay it down properly. But yeah, you have to, as a songwriter, you have to. But like I said to you, if a song comes into your head, you have to get it down almost straight away, Keith, because some of the melodies come in and they go out twice as quick. So it's important to get them under there. So obviously, I have a little setup at home for doing that, yeah. Very
good indeed. So tell us, just for links for people to check out this Facebook and MySpace and various stuff.
MySpace, yeah, just my email address is just jed5622@hotmail.com. That's basically just it. When the album, if I do go to do the album, obviously a web page and the whole lot will come along with that then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you'll be working on different stuff and things like that. Yeah, so your future plans is just to keep writing and stuff, is it?
Just keep writing at the moment. Like I said, hopefully this thing now with Gary will take off. He put it in his album, and please, towards the end of the year, I'm hoping to go in and record my own album then as well, and take it from there then with a couple of live performances and see how it goes. But in the meantime, just continue writing. And if anyone wants to contact me, the best way is obviously Facebook as well. Yeah. If they want to contact me in there, Ged McMahon, we can have a chat and talk.
Very good. Well, thanks very much for coming in this week on the show.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and thanks for having me, Keith.
No problem indeed. And I wish you all the very best with the music. I'm sure we'll be chatting to you real soon.
Thanks very much, Keith.
No problem indeed.
Thank you.